In this video, we're going to show you how to install the backup camera on your Kia Sorento located in the rear hatch. Go ahead and open up the rear hatch. With the hood open, go ahead and locate your battery right here on the driver's side front portion of the vehicle. We'll use a 10mm socket, our extension and ratchet to go ahead and loosen the 10mm nut here. Go ahead and give this a twist. Go ahead and pull it up and off and set it aside. Now I want to go ahead and remove our upper center trim panel first. You can go ahead and use a trim tool. Just gently get underneath the edge there and work your way down, releasing these plastic white push buttons from the hatch. Now this is going to be a series of Phillips head screws running around our trim panel. Go ahead and grab your Phillips head screwdriver, loosen and remove these. Now on our particular model, there's a total of 7 of these, not including the tailgate handle. Our vehicle came with this panel missing. We don't have to play with anything here. We're going to come back up here. These two in the back, you're going to remove the center section and you're going to use a trim tool to pop out the base. For this handle right here, there's going to be 2 little caps. Go ahead and use your pocket screwdriver and just gently go in here and pop these caps off. Now using our 10mm socket and extension, we want to go ahead and remove the 2 bolts securing our handle. Go ahead and use an extension. I'm just using my 1/4" ratchet to go ahead and zip these out. Gonna grab here, I'm gonna gently pull towards you. And then pull down. And we're just dislodging the plastic retainer buttons. Your trim panels here can separate from this here, like so. We'll just continue to pop this down. And then remove that and set it aside. Now on the inside here, you're going to locate 4 10mm nuts. There's going to be 1 here. There's going to be 1 up in here. Basically, there's 1 on each side of this bracket right here. So it's 1 there, 1 here, and then 1 over here on the passenger side. And I use the same socket and extension I had earlier, 10mm. You just want to remove all 4 of these 10mm nuts. Try not to lose those because we want to reuse those after. On these 2 here, we're going to use our gear wrench in the middle due to clearance issues because of all the components here. So we're going to move right to the driver's side here. Now that we have that off, let's go ahead and grab our gear wrench. And we'll go ahead and remove those 2 middle ones. All right, let's go ahead and get our last one over here. Once you break those free, you can normally just spin them out by hand. Go ahead and remove that. Now just to the right of where the driver's side stud was, if you follow it over, there's a little plastic button right here. I'm gonna use my needle nose pliers, and we're just gonna gently pinch the little tabs and then push it out a little bit. Now there's gonna be one on the passenger side as well. Now the one on the passenger side here is a little tougher to get to because you have a wiring harness that runs up beside it, so you can use a smaller pair of pliers to get your hand up in there. There it is. Now before we lower down that hatch, I want to go ahead and just grab a rag or put a towel or blanket or something over the latch here, because your battery's disconnected. You don't want that hatch to come down and latch again. Then you got to run around and reconnect that battery again. That's going to save you some time. Cover that up and lower the hatch. Now we're going to pull down our tailgate. Go ahead and remove the trim. And right here is the camera setup. Now we're going to use T20 Torx bits to go ahead and loosen and remove these screws here. All right, go ahead and set those screws aside. We're trying to pull this harness off of the connector here. So you can press in here after you release that little lock tab and hold that. And can just work that connector off. The next step is we have to remove this connector for the camera off of this little mounting bracket. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using my pocket screwdriver, and I'm going to be putting it along the front side, and I'm going to push over on a little spring clip or a lock tab. Now I'm going to show you on the new one here what it looks like. And this is it right here. So this little tab right here, you have to bend over. There's a little hook right here that locks it into place. So this is positioned down. So I'm going to put my pocket screwdriver in and gently get in front of it and pull it over. So let's go ahead and do that on the vehicle now. There it is. Let's go ahead and work that camera out. This camera is totally wasted. The view inside was all cloudy and disgusting, and you can see that this is all just corroded here. Now be sure to clean up the inside here. We can go ahead and grab our new camera and set that into place. Now when you receive your camera, you're probably going to have a little protective film over the lens. You can go ahead and peel that off and discard that. Let's grab this here. Go ahead and line that up. Feed that into position. Let's go ahead and grab our screws. Now when securing these here, you're just holding plastic into plastic, so you don't have to go super tight at all. Once it bottoms out, just give it a tiny bit more just to snug that into place. If you over tighten it, you're gonna crack the plastic, and well, you'll be replacing more than just a camera. So go ahead and grab that connector, line that up, push that on. Install this connector. Make sure this presses it all the way until this lock tab is secured. Make sure that's secured. And you go ahead and tuck your wires down inside. Now at this point here, we can go ahead and flip this up, and we have our plastic white buttons here. We can go ahead and line this up into the trim and push those in. Let's go ahead and open up our rear hatch here and then install the rest of the hardware. Go ahead and get the nuts started on the studs here. I'm going to get the driver's side one, then I'm going to run over to the passenger side. I'm going to run right over to the passenger side here. Get that started. Run those down. Now I'm going to go ahead and install the two middle ones. Go in here and just, you want to snug these down gently. Once you feel it bottom out, just give it a tiny bit more. They don't have to be super tight. You're holding a piece of plastic into the body. Once it bottoms out, give it a little bit more. And come right up to the outer one here, snug that one, and then we'll go over to the driver's side. Now before you install your rear panel here, you want to make sure that all of the white buttons are removed. If one of these had popped out of the rear, go ahead and use your trim tool and pop it out, and want to reinstall this onto the rear plastic panel. Now right here is where our button had popped out. You're simply going to slide the main button piece in there and snap it in. Let's now go ahead and install our rear cover. You're going to work your way around, snapping this into place. Let's install all of our screws and our rear handle. Now these here, you just want to get the base installed, and then you can push the centers in. Snug those down and just continue around the perimeter. Now let's go ahead and install them over on the other side. Now on this side here, there's two little lock tabs. Go ahead and line this up. Snap that in. Snap in those little retainer buttons there. Go ahead and get that screw installed here. Once you get the driver's side done, go ahead and repeat for the passenger side. Go ahead and get the rear handle installed. I'm going to get both of these bolts started. Run them down. Go ahead and grab your ratchet so we can snug those down. Once those are bottomed out, just snug them down a little bit more. Let's go ahead and pop our covers on here. Install our upper center panel. Now, if any of these buttons had popped off and were stuck in the rear liftgate or hatch, you want to go ahead and use your trim tool, just as I showed you with the rear cover. Swap them over and then install this. Now at this point here, the component is installed. You want to go ahead and bring that hatch down and then go ahead and test it out, make sure everything works. And at that point there, you're all set. And make sure this is snapped in place. Now that we have our camera installed, go ahead and reconnect the ground terminal and the battery. You can then hop into the vehicle, turn the key to the on position, pop the vehicle into reverse, and see how nice and crystal clear that rear view camera is. Install your ground terminal. You want to make sure that that's down as far as it'll go on that post. Go ahead and secure this. And make sure it's good and tight. Give that terminal a wiggle, make sure it's good and secured. And you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.